Here we are, guys, after 10 o'clock at night, and we're in the garage, and I'm doing these 460 heads, the doves, and yeah, they take a while, fellas. I'm tapering back around the guide, and I'm cutting it down, fellas. There's no reason not to cut these down. There's enough guide there, and well, I think there's enough guide there, so that's how I do it, guys. But yeah, we're gonna try to get a little bit done, and I've been staying on these every night, fellas, trying to do what I can do. So gonna be a bit noisy for a minute, fellas. I'm out to get the slack on top and even across the top of the guide, because if I stay on one side or the other and work back and forth on one side or the other, then it has a tendency to put a high spot. That's why I'm going back and forth across the guide, because if I was just to work one side, then it makes it where you have a harder time evening it out. I want to steal metal from over on this side too, because it's a bad spot in here as far as the casting comes out right here where I have the bit. But I got to be careful because I believe there's not a whole lot of metal there, and all I want to really do is get this straight and make a straight run all the way back. Give you guys a sneak peek. So it takes a long time, fellas. Anybody thinks they're just gonna get in there and knock this right out? It's not happening. The casting's terrible. You can see how the factory casting looks, and I actually took most of it out on that side except down by the floor. It's the only little ridge I left. It's right down there. That's not really hurting anything. So I still gotta straighten these out. They're not completely finished, but this is basically what we're going to wind up with. That's the one that I have most work done on, and that's about probably what we'll wind up with. Another thing, there's a bump right here on the roof, and I'm leveling that out, and then the port goes back up right here, and I'm gonna lower that. I already did that over here, so you guys can see the difference. And that one, of course, is stock. You can see all the garbage that you have to deal with. You can see the high spot in the roof right here. And then you have that big guide in your way that sticks way up. So that's what you have to deal with, guys. That's how much work you have to do. You can see the wall stick out right here. You can put the whole screwdriver behind that. And same deal down here. So yeah, it takes time, fellas. It's not an easy 5-minute job. I wish it was, but it's not. More noise, fellas. One thing I don't want to do, guys, is gnaw at this too much, because over this way it's thin. Over on this side I'm okay, but once you get over on this side, right in here, it starts getting thin. So that's the last thing I want to do, is go through. But you guys can see a difference already. I hope you can see the other how much more room you have for the air to come in before it bashes against this guide. And plus it's going to be all angled back and tapered, where that thing just sticks straight up right in the way. So that's what you have, fellas. You can see the wall in your way from that bolt post right there. And this one here is just I just knocked this back a little bit. This one here I took completely out. So that's the difference. That's what you would wind up with, depending on how carried away you want to get, fellas. So it's your discretion, guys, how you want to do them. So it's just one of them deals where it takes time. I have that pretty level. That's what I was after, to level the top. And then when I get down here, I'll taper in and I'll get rid of the high peak. I don't want to keep going over top of this, because what will happen, I'll wind up getting carried away and I'll get thin and not realize it. If I leave the high peak there, I know I'm okay. Once I knock that peak off right here, then I don't know how much further I have before I go through. So that's something to keep in mind if you do a pair of these heads, fellas. I'm going to concentrate on the roof. And you can see how it slants up. It comes up, has a dip right here. And from this high spot here, it puts a dip right here like a little ditch. So I'm going to contour all this and blend it all in. This here might show you a little bit more how nasty they really are. I hope it shows up, guys. I don't know if you can see it or not. But, and then there's the one that I did first. So, here we go, guys. That's what happens in real life, guys. Spend more time picking stuff up that fall out and falls down than you do work most of the time. Got a little too much my PD blaster in there, guys. Trying to show you guys what I'm doing, but it's hard because I can't get the phone in the right position because I can't hold my bit straight when I do that. But there's a bad spot right over here. I'm trying to blend this roof. It has casting here. I'm trying to level that into the side right here. And I want to cut this back right here. I don't know if you guys can see the shadow or not there, but that's what I'm making there. If I wasn't showing this on YouTube, I'd flip this head up and just concentrate on this side. And that's how I usually do it. I usually do one side, I'll blend it in, then I'll flip the head up the other way and get the other side. But I'm just trying to show you guys what I'm doing here. So it'd be a lot easier if this was up on the end, if I stood the head straight up. And then I would just knock this wall down right here. But I'm just trying to let you guys get an idea of what I do. I'll give you guys a closer look at that wall that I'm knocking out. One thing you can always tell, fellas, is by your shadow how level something is. I don't know if you guys can see, but it has a dark spot right here. That's where it's lower, right in that area right here. And this is higher, and then the port is higher here. So I'm trying to level this in to that low spot right there, and then I'm going to blend it all in. But anyway, guys, I think you get the idea. I don't want to bore you too much with this, but I just want to give somebody an idea of what they're in for when they do this kind of work, especially if you use the kind of equipment like I use. And if you take it on, I want to let you know what you're in for and how long it takes to gnaw at stuff. And this bit's not even hot, and you'd think it'd be burning me right now, but I had too much PD Blaster in there, so that kept it cool, even though I wiped a lot of it out. It's in with that oil. It's in with that gunk back here, and it's getting in the bit, cooling it down. So anyway, fellas, that's how it looks when you're working on it. It's never pretty, and it's never easy. So there's real life, fellas. There's other ways I'd be doing the bowls. I'll be using something different than that bit there for that, but I just want to show you guys about knocking this down. And it's far from done. Like I said, there's one that's pretty well close to being done. And then you could do that if you just wanted to have a little bit better performance compared to that. So you guys decide if it's worth it, if it's not worth it. And everybody's different when it comes to their time. Some people's minute is worth $100, and other people say I have nothing but time. So it all depends how you want to look at it. There's a lot of guys who would rather pay $1,000 to have this done. So I would give somebody $1,000 to do this for me if I had it. But anyway, guys, have a good night, and thank you for checking me out. I always appreciate that, guys. God bless you, and take care.